Hello, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to learn how to make this dream catcher. So for this I'm using cotton yarn and I'll be using a 3.5mm hook. So to begin with, we are first going to make a magic circle. If you don't know how to make a magic circle, I have a separate detailed video for the same and I'll be linking it in the description box below. So once we are done making a magic circle, we are now going to chain 2, and this chain 2 will be counted as a first double crochet, and now we're going to make 11 more double crochets in that magic ring. So we will have a total of 12 double crochets. Now, as I've mentioned earlier, that I am using cotton yarn for making my dream catcher, but you can also use acrylic, so you can use whichever yarn you prefer. Also, I don't think it is necessary, but if you want to use any starch on your dream catcher, if you want to stiffen it more, you can use the spray starch. I'll be linking it in the description box below as well. So you can just spray your dream catcher with that starch and it will stiffen up. So you can actually even use this dream catcher as a keychain because it's the perfect size. Now we have made 12 double crochets. Now we are just going to pull that string and make our magic ring tight. Now you can see there are no holes in between, and now we are going to insert a hook in that very top chain of that chain 2, and we are going to make a slip stitch in that chain. So this completes our row 1. Now I'm just going to sew in the ends. I'll be cutting the yarn over here and I'll be sewing in the ends. I'll see you once I'm done. So I've just sewn in both the ends, and now we're going to move on to our row 2. For that, we are going to work in between the 2 double crochets. So we are just going to insert a hook in between the 2 double crochets, and I'm going to take another color of yarn and we're going to pull through that gap. So now we are going to chain 3. So this is 1, 2 and 3, and now we're going to make puff stitches in between the 2 double crochets. For that, we are going to yarn over, insert a hook in between the 2 double crochets, yarn over, pull through to the height of double crochet. We are again going to do the same thing. We're going to yarn over, insert a hook in the gap, yarn over, pull through to a height of double crochet, of course. And now we will be left with 5 loops on a hook. We are going to yarn over and pull through all the 5 loops. And now we're going to chain 1. So this will secure our first puff stitch. Now we're going to chain 1 and make another puff stitch in between the next 2 double crochets. For that, we're going to yarn over, insert a hook in between the next 2 double crochets, yarn over, pull through to the height of a double crochet. We are again going to do the same thing, and one more time. So we'll do this for a total of 3 times in between each double crochets. Now we'll be left with 7 loops on a hook, and now we're going to yarn over and pull through all the 7 loops. And now we're going to chain 1 to secure our puff stitch, and we're again going to chain 1, and we'll make another puff stitch in between the next 2 double crochets. For that, again we're going to yarn over, insert our hook in the next 2 double crochets. Again we are going to yarn over, pull through, and one last time. Now we're going to, now again you can see we have 7 loops. We're going to yarn over and pull through all the 7 loops. And now we're going to chain 2. So this chain 1 will secure our puff stitch, and one more chain. So I'm just going to continue doing this, and we'll have a total of 12 puff stitches. So I'll see you once I'm done. Now we're done with our row 2 of puff stitches, and now moving on to row 3, we are going to work in between the puff stitches. For that, we're going to insert a hook in between the puff stitches, and we're going to yarn over with we're going to just pull through with a different color. Now we're going to chain 3. So this is 1, 2 and 3, and now we're going to make cluster stitches in between each pair of puff stitches. So for that, we're going to yarn over, insert a hook, and yarn over, pull through to a height of a double crochet, and now we're going to yarn over and pull through 2 stitches, 2 loops. We're again going to do the same thing, yarn over, pull through, and again we're going to pull through only 2 loops. We're going to do it for a total of 4 times. So this is the 3rd time, and now the 4th time. So we will be left with 5 loops on a hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through all the 5 loops. And now we're going to chain 1 to secure our cluster stitch. This is our first cluster stitch, and we're going to chain 2 again. And now we will be making another cluster stitch in between the 2 puff stitches. For that, we're going to yarn over, insert a hook in the gap, yarn over, pull through to a height of a double crochet, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, again yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through only 2 loops, and this is the 2nd time, this is the 3rd time. We'll do it 5 times for the rest of our 3rd row. This is at the 4th time, and one more time. So you can see that we are left with 6 loops on a hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through all the 6 loops. Now we're going to chain 3. So in the first cluster stitch, our chain 3 was counted as a part of a cluster stitch, which is why we just did it 4 times, and now onwards we are going to do it 5 times. So we should have 6 loops on a hook. So this is the 3rd cluster that we are making. So we'll pull through 2 loops, and now we're going to pull through 2 loops again. We're going to do it 3 more times, and that is going to give us another cluster. This is the 4th time, and the 5th and the last time. So again we'll be left with 6 loops on a hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through all the 6 loops. We'll chain 1, and again we are going to chain 2 and continue making our cluster stitches. So we'll have a total of 12 cluster stitches, and I'm just going to continue doing this, and I'll see you at the end of this row. Here we are at the end of our third row, and we have made chain 3, and now we're going to insert a hook in the very first stitch that we can see, and the topmost stitch, and we are going to make a slip stitch in that stitch. So this is going to give us a nice round dream catcher. So this is how it should look like. Now we have to make tassels for our dream catcher. For that we have to decide what height do we want, and we're going to make strings long enough so that it is double the required height. Here I have cut 20 strings, and now I am going to take another string and I'm going to place it in between our 20 strings, and I'm going to fold it, and now this is how a tassel will look like. Now I'm going to take another string and I'm just going to secure our tassels. I'm going to tie it right over there so that our tassels are secured. I'm just going to make a knot. I'll actually make 2 knots so that it's nice and secure. One more knot, and I'm just going to leave those strings with the tassels. It'll be the part of our tassel, and this is how we are going to make tassels. So this is 1, and I'm going to make a total of 3. I've already made 2. So this is how you have to make a tassel. And now we're going to attach our tassels. For that we will first decide on where do we want to attach our tassel, and once we have decided, we are going to insert a hook in that stitch, and we are going to pull through one string through the loop, and now we are just going to simply make a knot. Here as well I'm going to make 2 knots so that my tassels are secure. So this is how we are going to do that. You can see it is already secured, but to be on a safer side, I'm again going to make 1 more knot. And now I'm just going to cut off the ends, and I am going to attach my other 2 tassels right there on my dream catcher, and I'll see you once I'm done. Now I'm just going to add in a loop so that I can hang my dream catcher, and once a dream catcher is done, it should somewhat look like this. Thanks for watching my video. If you do like my video, please give it a thumbs up and do subscribe to my channel for more such videos. Happy crocheting!